Hello everyone, welcome to this video or tutorial on Autocad. Firstly, the first thing to do, I am Sir Oliver by the way. First thing to do is to open Autocad, of course. Now I have opened it already, as you can see in my menu, my start menu. I have opened it already, but you have to double click on Autocad here to open it. So I've opened it already. When you open it for the first time, it takes time. It takes time, just like about 5 minutes or so, or less than 5 minutes or less than, depending on the specifications of your laptop. Open the Once you open AutoCAD, you get to this screen. Now, next thing to do is to create a new drawing. If you have an old drawing, fine, you can open it, but I will get to that one much later into the in this tutorial. So open a new file, click on new. Just watch my cursor. Click on new, give it some time. Yes. So just wait, let it load a bit. You can see I'm checking if it's loading. You can see it's very responsive. As I'm turning my mouse, it's also turning, so it's very responsive. The next thing to do is to save the drawing. Please do not forget to do this. I would have said this would be the last thing to do, but always save your drawing first to avoid any problems. Because if your system goes down, you have lost it already. You've lost your drawings. There's no way to get it back. So to save your drawing, press Ctrl S together. Ctrl S should save your drawings. Just give it time. Ctrl S. You can see it. I can save it as anything I want to save. And I'll save it as, let's call it masterclass 1. And I press enter, it saves. See, the name has changed from drawing 3 to masterclass 1. Okay then. Okay, for today's class, I'll be talking about everything you can see on this interface, everything you can see on the screen. I'll talk about everything you can see on the screen. I'll explain them to you, what they mean, and different things. Okay, let's get right. Okay, so let's talk about all the different things, all the different elements you can see on your screen. Aside my start menu, which is this one below here. Aside this one, because this one is like computer, like my personal stuff, but every other thing is the AutoCAD application. So let's get right into it. This A button is to just open a new file, save new files, import new files, export files, to share files as different formats. For example, DWF file, DWG, DF, anything at all. DWG just simply means drawing. DWT means drawing template. For you to be able to share AutoCAD files, you have to send them as DWG, because as a DWG file, you can send it to another computer and still edit some things in AutoCAD. That's one of the basic things I feel everyone should know. Then these ones are just basic commands. This one are basic command. Create a blank drawing file new. This one opens, this one saves, this one save as anything you want to save. Then this open from web and mobile, because they have AutoCAD mobile app. This one is for plotting. Plotting AutoCAD just simply means printing. Then this one is undo. This one is redo when you've actually started something. This one is share. But I feel this sign in. Please do not sign in, because this what I'm using. The file, the AutoCAD I'm using is, will I say, is the cracked version of AutoCAD. It's not actually AutoCAD. It's not licensed. It's not registered. This is just like the hacked version of it you get. So if you want it, I can give it to you. Just DM me. I can get you the cracked version. So that's all about the top for now. And then in the last exam, the recently conducted exam, they asked them what these things mean. All these bars I'm placing my cursor on, these things here. I'll explain that in due time. But I'd love to start from the bottom right here. I'd love to start from here. This is the customization menu. This one is to clean screen. Then these buttons here, they're all very important in their own way. This line, this stuff, this one, this type of command is called the command line. Anything you are doing, every and any single thing you are doing on AutoCAD will appear here. It will show here in this command line, to show here. For example, if I type a simple command as line, you can see it. anything I type shows here. Any command I want to do, it shows in this command line. So that's just to help you keep track of what you are doing. Understand? Okay. See, I cancelled it. It showed line cancel command. So that's the command line right there. Then next is model. This is just this space we are in now. This black thing now you can see. Let me just this black thing now. This whole the thing you can see with grid lines, with lines and everything. It's called the model space. They have paper space or layout, and they have model space. So this what you are seeing now is the model space. But if I click layout, it goes to the layout of paper space. Also goes to layout 2, layout 1. You can also add layout, but the best place to draw is the model space. For example, I can also change it here, model or paper space. Switch to paper, can switch back to model by clicking here. Model space. I've gone back to the model space. You get that this one is to overlap the model and paper. That's what this one is for, but those ones are advanced. You don't need them for now. For now. So this is the grid lines. To display the grid lines, the grid, you know what a grid is, these lines here, these lines. If I click on this button now, you see the grid lines are gone. If I click them back, they are back there. So it's just grid lines are just there to guide you in your drawing. You get. This one is called the snap mode. Snap mode. You can use different keys to make to do different functions in AutoCAD. For example, now you can see as I hovered above this button, you can see I've not clicked it here. I just put my cursor on it. It showed me snap mode F9. F9 is a key on your laptop. What to activate it? Then if I press Fn, the function key, and then F9, see what happens. It turns on. But if I don't do it, it turns off. It's not by me. Okay, let me try it again. I remove the cursor. I press Fn F9. Fn is the function key. Look for Fn key on your keyboard. Fn and then F9 together. See, it turns on. But if I do it again, it goes off. You understand? This one is called the ortho mode. Orthographic, meaning that it goes in just the X and Y directions only. For example, now my ortho mode F8 is on. If I do a line now, let me try drawing a line. If I draw a line now, you see I cannot bend it. I'm trying to bend it normally. Let me off my auto mode first. Fn F8. I can bend the line anyhow I want to bend it, as you can see, at any angle. But once I enable my ortho mode, once I enable it, what happens? I can only go in the X and Y directions only. I cannot bend it like before. I can only go X and Y. That's just orthographic, right? 2D, two dimensions, X and Y dimensions only. So let me turn that off for now. Okay, then we're back to polar tracking. This one is a bit advanced. I won't introduce it now. But just know it is very important when you're trying to join lines that you don't really know where you're supposed to join. It's very important there. Then this is called the ISO draft button, isometric draft. Watch what happens when I click it. You can see the grid snap, the grid changed way to bend like this. This is the ISO button, ISO draft left. You can see I can change ISO plane left. I can change to top. I don't know if you can see the changes. See the cursor. It has gone to like a flat cross. I don't know if you can see it. And then this sorry, I can also change it to the right. You can see it changed to the right also. My cursor also changed to the right. So I want to turn it off now. I've turned it off. That's gone back to the orthographic plane like this, just like this. 2D. These ones are really not important now. This is the scale button. This one is the scale button here. You can adjust the scale. The scale is not important. You cannot see the scale here in this model space. Scale is only important when you want to plot or print. Plotting is the same thing as printing. Scale is only important when you want to plot or print. For now, you don't really need it. Then this is the settings button to change from 3D modeling to 3D basics to drafting. We're in drafting annotation now. If I change this 3D modeling now, watch what happens above. If I switch to 3D modeling, check what happens here. Just observe. You can see that some things, just give it time. You can see that some things have changed now to the 3D tools we're supposed to use. Before we're in 2D, but now we're in 3D tools this thing. But for now we only need 2D, two dimension, just normal drawing on paper. So let's go there and change it back to our normal drawing on paper. So you can see that it has changed back to the former one we were using. You can see. Just give it time to come back. I'm trying to make it one again. Yes, it has come back. Okay, finally. This is it here. So now that's all about this bottom panel, the things you need to know. The next thing is that you can also, let's move up to this one here. To this thing I highlighted, this one here. Follow my cursor, please. This one here. This one is just called the, what I say, the world button. The world coordinate system button. It just shows you, it gives you directions. You can see north, south, east, and west. It just gives you different views of what you are drawing from the different directions enlisted. For example, if you click on N now, it shows you in the north direction what you'll be seeing from the east direction of the object. This tool is mostly useful in 3D. It is not that useful in 2D. In 2D, it just messes up your 2D drawing, but in 3D, it's very very useful. So now, this is another one I want to show you. This is another one. These are buttons. These buttons can easily be done with your mouse. If you have a mouse, these ones here, they can be easily done with your mouse. For example, now this hand button is called pan. It's called the pan. This thing is called the pan. For you to pan in AutoCAD, to pan means to just like to move the space to check. You hold down your wheel, that wheel on your mouse, the wheel on your mouse, the rotating thing on your mouse, you hold it down, press it down, you see it becomes a black hand. Then you just move your mouse while still holding that wheel down. Hold your wheel down and then move it. You can see I'm panning the space. If you want to pan again, you move again like that. Keep on panning, keep on panning, keep on panning, just like that. That's what it means to pan. Then to zoom, to zoom, for you to zoom, just roll your mouse, just rotate the mouse. To zoom inward, you rotate it inward. To zoom outward, you rotate your mouse outward. You can see I can zoom. I'm zooming, I'm zooming, I'm zooming. That's just it. Then this orbit. Orbit is used in 3D. If you use orbit in 2D, this button now, you use in 2D, it messes up your drawings. It messes up your drawings. It's very hard. You have to do Control Z to undo, Control Y to redo. Control Z to undo, Control Y to redo. For example, to orbit, you have to hold your shift button. Hold your shift button on your laptop and then hold down that wheel that will help you to pan. Hold it down and then you move it. It has changed to, as you can see. You can see that my WCS is also changing. This thing is also changing. You can see it's also changing too as I'm moving it because I'm orbiting around the world, something like that. See, it has changed to the X, Y, and Z axis. You understand? Orbit messes up your 2D drawings. It is very useful in 3D, but in 2D it messes it up, as you can see. I'm still holding my shift button and my mouse wheel down. You understand? Then to undo the thing that you did, to undo it, go back to the normal way we were seeing it before. Control Z will undo everything. You see it has gone back. Control Y will redo it back. Control Z will undo it. I think that's all for now. Then this place, this I don't know, follow my cursor. This place, this thing is now. This my cursor is. It's just to describe how your 3D drawings will be. It's mostly used in 3D. This top now is the top you are seeing here. You can see top here, and you can see top in your WCS. Then 2D wireframe is the, will I say, when you do a 3D drawing, there are different ways you can view it as. You can save it as the X-ray version, you can save it as hidden edges. You can also save it as the 2D wireframe. 2D wireframe is just like if you drew it, just like when we were asked to draw a cube or a cuboid in school, that that rubbish old trick that will do two rectangles and then connect the lines. That is the 2D wireframe. That's what we call 2D wireframe. Just those lines were connecting. That's what we call 2D wireframe. Understand? That is is basically used in 3D modeling, not 2D drafting. Okay, now down to this panel, this place here now, right here now. For you to add a new drawing, you click on this plus, you create a new drawing, Then to you start again, you have to save it first. Always remember to save. Or going back to the master class, you can switch between drawings by just clicking on the drawing you want to pick. That's how you can switch between drawings. I'm trying to close this drawing. We're here now. Okay, now another thing you need to know before we go into this panel, because this is the most important part of today's class. This place here, this ribbon here. They will ask you in your exam. They were asked in the previous exam, previous set. They asked them in their exam. Okay, then this is the most important part. Hmm. Let's go. This is another thing you should not always forget to do. Once you open AutoCAD, the first thing after saving or before saving, the first thing you should do is to use your unit. Change your unit, UN. Just type UN, unit. It will bring out a screen. This is it now. So you change it to, you can work in inches. AutoCAD is calibrated to always open in inches, but you can change it to millimeters. This unit now, like I said it before, it doesn't actually affect anything in the model space. It is only when you are dimensioning and when you are plotting or printing that you can now see the effect of these units I talked about. But aside that, units are not all that important. They are important, but it is not important when you are actually doing the drawing. But when you print it out, that's when you see the importance of units and setting your units and your dimensions and every other thing, like I said, and scaling. Okay, okay, okay. And then if you notice, when you zoom out, this YX thing is always disturbing. This YX thing is always disturbing. There's a way you can remove it to not disturb you anytime you are doing your drawings, because once you are zooming out, your drawings, you zoom out a lot, but you see it keeps on disturbing and moving. And so for you to put it in a place that it doesn't have to disturb you, so what you click on, just type random, just type UCS icon, and you press enter. Anything you type, press enter. Then you switch to no origin. As you can see now, not the thing just remains where it is. It doesn't change at all. So that's another thing you need to know. One other thing before we move on to the up to this ribbon, like I said, is how to select. There are two ways to select in AutoCAD. You can select right, like with your right. You can just click your this thing and move. Just click and move. You don't need to hold it. Left click once and then move your mouse. You select, if you move, you can move it in the right and left direction. They have different uses. If you move it in the right direction, what happens is that this blue thing only selects what it touches. It only selects what it touches. But if you move it in the left direction, it changes to green. This green one selects everything. As long as they are all one element, it selects everything. But this blue one selects only what it touches. Example, let me draw a polyline. Let me just draw something random. Just something random. Let me just draw something random. Let me just draw something random. To end any task you are doing, to end anything you are doing, to end anything you are doing at all, press escape. End anything you are doing, press escape to end anything. That's how I ended my this thing to make it free for me. Do you understand? To end anything you are doing, press escape. Okay, then now this polyline means I'll talk about polyline in our next class, but let me just say it here. It means everything you are seeing is just one thing, one element. I started, stop. You think that okay, I'm drawing different lines, but AutoCAD reads it as you just drew one single thing. For example, now if I touch it now, if I put my mouse on it, you see it just shines everything. But if I do a normal line, what happens is that, as you can see, I'm not using the polyline function. You can see if I put my mouse, only select that part I put my mouse on. So what the blue selection does is that it selects only what it touches. That's what it does. It selects only what it touches. But then the left, this other one selects everything at the same time. As you can see, immediately it touches it, selects everything. But this blue one now selects only what it touches. Do you understand? You see, it selected only these two because it touched only these two. But if I had done this green one now, select everything too in this case, as you can see. So that's the difference between them. So now let's go into the main thing of today. These ribbons. So now in your exam you will be asked, please listen up, listen attentively please. In your exam you'll be asked all these things here. Let me explain. This thing you can see now, this thing like this strip, this strip, the ribbon, a ribbon generally starts from this end where my mouse is now, where my cursor is, sorry, where my cursor is, this place now, line, it starts from here and it spans to this end here or to view, but it just span this line, this like this kind of gray line, gray rectangle we are seeing. Everything inside there is called, it's just called a ribbon. That's what it's called, a ribbon. You understand? So if they ask you what is in the home ribbon, the ribbon when you click on the home tab, you check because they can be asked what is in the ribbon when you click on the home tab. You see, you say line, polyline, circle, arc, text, dimension, all these things, you say them. When you also click on this one, what is in the ribbon when you click on insert, this is what you see here. Let's go back to home. So you understand what a ribbon is now. For the home, for these things now, these top, these names here, they are called tabs. They are called tabs. So this is the home tab, insert tab, annotate tab, parametric tab, view tab, manage tab, output tab, add-ins, collaborate tab, express tools tab, featured apps tab. So those are the tabs. Those are what we call tabs. Very simple. Home, home tab, in the ribbon of the home tab. Answer the question. In the ribbon of the home tab, what are the things you see? What are the elements you see there? Okay, now let's focus on the home tab because this is where most of us, this is where we do most of the work. The home, sorry, the home ribbon. Now these things now, if you can see where my cursor is, draw. This thing is called a panel. Everything under here, you can see that there are tiny lines that just like dissects them, differentiates them. This is the draw panel. Click on draw. You see, this is the draw panel. This is the modify panel. These are panels. So inside ribbons, there are panels. Understand? And inside panels, there are tools. So you start from the tab. Inside the tabs, you get the ribbon. From ribbon, you get panel. From panel, you get tools. For example, now the home tab, the ribbon of the home tab has draw panel, modify panel, annotation panel, layers panel, block panel, properties panel, groups panel, utilities panel, clipboard panel, and view panel. Now inside this draw panel now, what can you see there? What are the tools you see there? They were asked this question. I will explain to you how they were asked. Draw, line, you can see the line tool, polyline tool, circle tool, arc tool, rectangle tool, center ellipse tool. You can also see hatch tool. Under the modify panel of the home tab, what can you see? You can see the move tool, rotate tool, trim tool, erase tool, mirror tool. You can see different things here. You can see different things, offset tool. Under annotation, what can you see there? Under annotation panel. So just know these things because they were asked in their exam. How they were asked is that they gave them a drawing and asked them what tools or what things can you see under the annotation panel. They asked them that one. They also asked them what tools were used to make this specific part of the drawing. They were asked that kind of question. In due time, we will cover how to do this and how to ace your exams. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your attendance, for your attention. Thank you so much. In our next class, I will talk about this drawing panel, this draw panel, and all the tools there. We'll use them, we'll see how to use them, and we'll better understand more about AutoCAD. We'll go a bit because everything is step by step. Step by step learning is the best. So we'll dive into this in our next class. Don't forget to share this group. Don't forget to share the video to your friends. Tell your friends about the AutoCAD Mastery Group. Invite them to learn because we grow by helping others. Thank you and thank you. Until next time, I still remain Sir Oliver.